Do you just want to tell the folks a little bit about yourselves, real quick?
Yep.
I can go first.
Yeah, my name's Lucas. About 7 years ago, I quit my job in the mines to be a stay-at-home dad. As I've seen one too many of those babysitting videos gone wrong, where the babysitters are hitting the kids and stuff, and I'm like, no,
Jesus.
that ain't happening. So my partner at the time had a better job than me, so yeah, I quit my job in the mines and became a stay-at-home father. I was doing that for about a year when I got a bit, thought, what else can I be doing? Because I'm getting everything done by about midday, and I'm like, I need to be doing something else. And a job as an extra came up at Maitland Jail for a TV series, and it was called Blue Murder Killer Cop. Right. And yeah, so I seen a post about it on Facebook, and I reached out to my now agent Wayne, and yeah, got an extra role in that. And yeah, first day on set, I was like, damn, I really want to do this.
Yeah.
So yeah, it all started there for me.
How long has it been since then?
7 years. Yeah.
Wow.
So from extra to now main cast, it's it's been a good road.
Mm-hmm. And you, Buffy?
Yeah. My name is Buffy and I was born in the Philippines. Mm-hmm. And I started out working in fast food. Like I used to do hospitality work for 10 years, and I can't remember how I got into the acting. I remember I did a bit of modeling work, and my photographer asked me or advised me that maybe I should try to do a bit of acting classes, so that way I could maybe
just hold a little bit closer.
Have more facial expressions, So I did that, and after doing that, I realized that I like acting. Yeah. So I started doing extras work, so I could get into it. And I'm not one of those actors or upcoming actors that wanted to go straight. Getting an agent so that way they could get work. I am someone who's more just kind of go with the flow and see where it takes me.
Yeah.
Yeah. I guess that's about it.
Yeah. And where has it taken you thus far?
The biggest one that I did was The Last King of the Books. It wasn't a main cast. It was a guest role, but for me that was one of the biggest job that I done, because I got to work with well-established actors, and because I was used to being an extra, just a background extra, like a background character. But this time I got to work with big people.
How did it feel like between being an extra and then being a feature, like some sort of feature? What was the difference in that?
Well, the difference was, the treatment.
Yeah.
Because
that was probably the first thing that came to my mind. It's like, you extras, go sit over there, and then it's like, next minute you got someone carrying a water bottle for you, carrying a chair around for you if you want to sit down, or they're patting our sweat off our faces, and I'm just like, oh my god, we're all just people here. But yeah, I think that was one.
Yeah, it happened to me too. When we were doing my scene, it was so hot. It was in the middle of summer, and we were wearing blazers and all that, and I was sweating, and these people are like wiping my face and putting makeup on, and I'm like, I'm so sorry guys, I'm sorry. And they're like, it's all good, it's fine, it's our job.
Yeah. Well, the guy, everywhere we went, me and one of the other actors, he would follow us around with a chair in case we wanted to sit down. We're like, we should probably just sit down so you feel like you're doing your job. so we took a seat, but yeah. And it's incredible. Like couldn't believe that I got to work with a guy out of Lost. So like,
Oh yeah, Naveen.
Growing up and like falling in love with TV series, like I love Ozarks and Vikings and stuff like that. But the series that started my love of like TV series was Lost, and it was very it was a great experience to work with people like that, and Naveen was great to work with, and the whole cast were amazing, and everyone's more than happy to share their because we're only relatively new to it. I'd just done NCIS and now Last King of the Cross, and sitting, as you know, waiting around for hours to go on set, sitting in the trailer, and I'd be like, I hope I'm not bothering you guys by talking about acting, and they're like, well, if you don't, we will. So that was so refreshing that the people who had, like the veterans, had been doing it for so long, they're still so passionate to share information and point of view and stuff like that. It's great.
I usually like differentiate things, like for example, even me, I started acting quite late as well. So like many people, like I guess us in a way, like I guess acting was never in our field, or in our maybe people go, do you ever dream of becoming an actor? I don't think I ever really did.
Yeah, me neither. I actually wanted to be a singer.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
What genre?
I was a big fan of Silverchair and Daniel Johns.
Oh,
and, Pearl Jam and stuff like that. And I was,
Foo Fighters.
Childhood dream, but then, like everyone in my town, we all went and worked in the mines and stuff like that. And it was only because, we had the fifth child that I had some spare time to actually think about, hey, what do I really want to be doing, instead of just going to work at dark, getting home at dark, not seeing my family, and that's not the sort of life I wanted. So getting into acting was probably the best thing I've ever done, to be honest.
So where were you mining?
At first at Ozstar Coal at Cessnock, then at Musselbrook at Sub-Zero.
Wow.
I was a warehouse manager in the mines, but not something that I wanted to do forever. So I feel very blessed to be able to do what I actually want to do now. So.
And how do you like, do you look at yourself like, man, like where I started and where I'm hitting now, like what do you think about it in that way, like in retrospect?
I just feel a lot happier. I guess, like like you said, I never knew I wanted to be an actor until I got on set as an extra, and then when I did that, I was like, damn, this is really what I want to do with my life. Like nothing else gave me that feeling as the feeling you get on set. And I asked Wayne, I said, what do I need to do to become an actor? And he's like, well, you need to go to school and you need speaking roles. And I'm like, well, so how do I do that? Like, how do I get the speaking roles? And he said, you got to work for free in like student films. So I spent like 4 years catching the train, going to school, going for any unpaid job I could. So it was a long time, like just every day catching the train, not getting paid, like working at a service station, and then it's just, I guess what you said before, the best feeling is it's like it's finally paying off, and now I've got all the speaking roles in the unpaid work. Now I'm actually getting paid to do it, which is a dream come true. So,
what school did you go to?
Actors Pulse at Redfern.
Yeah. That's a fair trip from Newcastle.
Yeah. So I was 4 days a week 6 hours on a train every day. So when people say, you know, did you put the hard work in? I count that as part of the hard work.
Yeah,
because,
100%.
you know, not many people are willing to do that as well, like to put in that many hours. So
it's just like sometimes it's unfortunate because like a lot of the acting school or things that are in the zone of potentially also getting acting jobs are in Sydney. It's around that same sort of area.
Yeah.
And like if you live outside of Sydney, you have to travel or move to Sydney. But if you move to Sydney, like who wants to move to Sydney now? Like it's horrendous to move here. Like I don't know who would want to move.
Why is that?
It's so so bloody expensive. So bloody expensive. Yeah. I bought a coffee the other day. It was $6. It was $6. So like.
Yeah. Well, as for me, I'm kind of at that stage where I'm doing a lot of like collaboration with some people and doing short films, auditioning for short films, so that way I could experience and learn more and get used to being in an acting world. I'm still doing that. And I think the last short film that I done was for it's a horror film. It's called The Whispers of Baphomet. It's only a 12-minute short film, but for me that was it means a lot to me, you know, because I was the lead for that one. And I got to work with a few people, and getting to know them, it kind of gave me a lot of it kind of gave me like an encouragement to keep doing it, and
yeah. Do you find like, because like as going back to the fact that we all started this quite late, like do you find that there's a different mentality towards jobs? I'm not sure if you brush shoulders with actors on a daily basis besides on set. Do you find that you're like a little bit different in mentality wise, like how you approach things? Like do you find any difference in that, or you don't?
I've missed the question.
So like when you run into other actors and you speak to them about being an actor, do you find that there is a difference in the approach, in the mentality of being an actor? Because I feel like you both, I mean, you a blue collar worker and you started quite late in a different way, and like I feel like because you've done work in society, I feel like you come with this life experience. That I feel like some actors who I guess always wanted to be actors and started as a young age may not come with that.
Right.
And I wonder that's probably the reason why you probably were successful with The Last King Across, because you could see that in your eyes.
Yeah, right. Yep.
Yeah.
Well, I started, so I was 37 years old when I started, and I've had 5 children, and feel like I've lived 4 lifetimes in that time. And I think just being that age and going through life experience just gives you so much to draw from with your imagination and or scenarios in dramatic scenes and stuff, like you can sort of cast your mind back to like stuff that's happened in your own life and stuff like that. But yeah, I think that's about it with that. I think just life experience comes in handy.
For me, I rely a lot on my emotions as well, like my life experience to draw out my emotions in acting. Because I don't have a lot of experience, I did some acting classes, but it's only short courses, acting school is not for me. I think it's not for me. I found that like in acting school, well, it's good to do it, but it's still up to you. I mean, I think it's up to you how you wanna.
Do you find acting school a little bit like scary? Not scary, but do you find a little bit it plays your anxiety a little bit? Or,
they're a little bit more critical.
Critical, yeah.
And you know,
and do you find that because they're critical, it may diminish a little bit of your confidence?
it's true, yeah.
Yeah.
And also, I find a lot of students can be a little too competitive, you know, because they're trying to what do you call it?
Get jobs?
To do a good job, and then to show the professor, the teacher that hey, I'm one of the best actors here.
Yeah.
It's getting a bit like too competitive. So I realized now this is not for me.
Yeah. And that's how I sort of found it. Like I would turn up to acting classes and even though it'd be like on the surface, like, oh, everyone's like so happy chappy and it's like, oh, that's great. But really deep down, they were fighting, like they're like really competing for like freaking roles and competing competitive. And like, I don't know why at schools you got to be competitive, but because I think it boils down to the industry because it's so small and there's like jack all roles for people and so people are like, oh, this guy or this person may potentially take my job, you know, and it's make the people react in that way, you know. And I don't think that's entirely could be the case, you know. Like I don't think we should compete in that sort of way, but and jealousy is the big thing. Jealousy,
I think we're all alone in it together, and I'm always happy to see other people succeed, but I think in all of us is this tiny little bit of damn, I wish that was me in certain.
Yeah. So whoever's like probably listening to this podcast or watching this podcast, like you folks only recently started and didn't really go to acting the classical route, whatever. And now you're in a two TV shows, NCIS, and then the Alaska and the Cross, and like. A lot of people who probably listen to right now who have gone through all, they're like, man, fuck.
Yeah.
You know, like they probably like, man, who are these two people? Like, but that's just the industry. Like, you know, it is what it is, you know?
Yeah.
And
Well, the first decent role I got was on 60 Minutes in a reenactment because I looked like the murderer.
Oh, great.
and also with my appearance, I get stereotypes. Like, on Doctor, I had a role on Doctor, and I was a tradie. On NCIS, I was a bikie, and now Last King of the Cross on 6 episodes, I was main cast as a bikie, and I love those roles because, you know, I was fortunate enough to do lots of commercials as well, where I was a father and this and that, and I've always like really, really wanted to sink my teeth into some like really dramatic roles, and also they're fun because like. There's fighting and shooting guns and holding guns and lots of drama. Yeah, so I think my appearance has something to do with it. And like, for example, like if you're just say you're a pretty blonde woman, there's probably 1,000 other blonde women to compete with. I think my odds are a little bit better because there's not 1,000 guys who look like me. Sort of thing. So if people are wondering, that might be but might come into it.
Yeah, which is great because like I think you look like a stock standard, like I guess normal person as opposed to as an actor.
Yeah.
Like there's a look of an actor.
Yeah, of course.
Is it have you noticed there's a look of an actor possibly?
Yeah. Well, I think it I mean your look also is important, you know, for when you get cast.
Yeah.
You know, it helps to, how do you say it?
If they see what they're looking for, like if you look similar to what they're looking for, the odds go through the roof. I think.
You're saying that because you look a certain way, And looks do matter because then you can, I guess, there's characters that you can play those characters, but just filming the looks wise, right? And that's why possibly people like you get casted with, you guys get casted with these type of roles because you look like a normal person.
Yeah.
Not normal in like what I'm saying, that you look like part of society, right? I do see like actors like some like even me like whatever like lot of actors who like may be continuing trying to be better looking or whatever or trying to be that part, if you're I don't know. I think there's a certain thing to it. Like you guys look like that. You guys look experienced. Your eyes tell that you have life experience, and then I'm sure the camera picks that up. And I think that's really important. And sometimes you watch some show, man, like this kid does nothing about like this thing, and both of you, even like talking to you, looking in your eyes, like you can see that there's more to it than just being an actor. Actor's only a little part of you,
I remember I did audition for one role. It's just a featured extra for the movie called Reason by Eddie Aria, and I had to audition for this scene, and it's one of the important scenes in the movie, and I was sure that I wasn't going to get it because I never had any experience, but this director just kept like pushing me because he said I can see something in your eyes, I think you'll be good for this one, but I kept denying it because I'm like, who am I? I don't have a lot of experience, And there was another girl who auditioned for the role, and she was more experienced. But even though she's more experienced than me, she never got the role. I still got the role because of the look that I have and my eyes, So I guess the look helps for your casting.
Yeah. And how do you guys go with learning lines and stuff?
Oh,
lines, they're a nightmare.
Because you would have heaps. You had heaps, right?
Ned my character was a man of little words. I did have like quite a few lines, but not as many as everyone else, and also like just doing the commercials, the short films, the indie films, just study, going to school, having a great agent. I'm like, I thought I know it all, I know what I'm doing. I'm prepared. I've got this, and
he's a great agent.
Yeah, he is.
Shout out
hard
to
worker.
shout out to Wayne,
Yeah.
Middleman Agency, mate.
No, he's a legend.
Yeah.
But
Great guy.
yeah, I thought I know everything, so I learnt my lines backwards. Just and it's funny, and then you get on set and it's nothing like all the other actors have obviously got what they want to do in their head, and everyone's got different ideas and stuff. And in the very first scene, my big scene that introduces my character, I walk in and John Ibrahim says to me, "I hope you know your lines." And I said, "Yep, I know them backwards." And he goes, "Well, guess what? I'm changing them on you."
Oh, fuck.
So I had learnt my lines for like a month. Not that I needed to, but I thought if I'm this prepared, no matter what happens, I'm going to be proud of the outcome, sort of thing.
Yeah.
And I walk in and all my lines got changed. So I had to relearn them in a few minutes as opposed to like a few months. But
all of them.
Oh, just that scene.
Just that scene. Yeah.
So like but and then I also and on it was a completely different experience on NCIS because one word out of the script supervisor would pick it up, even if it was like, for example, the word "at." So no, it has to be word for word. And I'm like, okay, this must be how it is, because that was my first big role, NCIS. I'm thinking, that must be how it is. But then on Last King of the Cross, all of the main actors and the guys who've been doing this for years, they just changed the words to how they thought the character would say it. And then I realised that I really don't know everything, and this is a great learning experience. And so I guess in some scenarios, not knowing all your lines might be okay.
Yeah, right.
Because just like, you're in the moment, and
so you can like maybe play with the lines a little more.
And the worst thing that can happen is they can say no, we don't like it, and then you just go back to
Do you feel like you guys had a chance to play around with the scenes?
God, yeah.
It was, sorry, did John Abraham, did he direct all of it, did he?
No, he's a producer.
He's a producer. Yeah.
John was there a lot.
He's always on set, right?
Yeah, given like just encouragement and ideas and stuff. But it was amazing set to be on. Like we got to play off the scenes for sure. It wasn't just come in like it has to be this certain way, rah. You maybe do that a few times, but then you also got a chance to like do it your way as well, and which was it was incredible.
And what was your experience like that?
My experience, with lines, I have a lot of trouble with lines, especially because English is not my first language. Sometimes my challenges is like, how do I express this? How do I say this? Is this how they say this?
Yeah.
Stuff like that.
That's a whole nother layer, isn't it?
Yeah. So maybe that's why I do get a lot of roles where I don't have to say a lot of things. And it's more on my expressions. But still, I still have to understand what's going on the script. So that way I could express it, even if I don't have a lot of lines to say.
Yeah. Sorry, keep going. Yeah. So like, then how was it with you with direction and stuff? Like, how did you feel changing things around, and were you quite comfortable with that?
With direction.
I'm just trying to get a feel like how is it to be on set in such a big set, like.
It was a lot of pressure for me. Like I said, because I don't have a lot of experience, compared to Lucas, and I started out being an extra. I'm used to being an extra. And when I got the role for The Last King, it was just a last minute casting, and I didn't have to audition for it. And I didn't know that I didn't have a line in that one. There was one line only, but I was allowed to say more than a few lines, based on the contract. But they only gave me one. It was a little tough because there were a few lines before my lines, so I have to understand and I have to remember when do I have to say my line. And aside from that, I do have to mind my expressions, my facial expressions, so it could align with the scene.
Yeah. Well, one thing I'm really interested in is that you said you're from the Philippines.
Yeah.
How was your transition from being in the Philippines to being in Australia?
It was hard because it's different. Because in the Philippines, everybody knows about you. It's easy to make friends, whereas in Australia, it's a little different. I get presented with these opportunities. So.
Meant to do it.
Yeah.
What's that?
Meant to do it.
Meant to do it. Yeah.
And because with Lucas, he's like he said earlier on that he doesn't want to be bored. He likes to do. He likes to chase his dreams. I'm a little bit different. I'm a kind of person that I just like go with the flow and see where it takes me. Because I did try to chase my dreams. I did try to, go for something, like more. But it just never works, you know. So I thought, okay, maybe I'll just go with the flow and see where it takes me.
I guess you're a place where you're okay for just satisfaction, and you're just okay to just be. You're just trying to find peace in any. Yeah. Which is tough because you move to a different country and the cultural ways are quite different, and and Sydney's a tough city too. You know, did you move straight to Sydney?
Yep. Yeah. We migrated in the early 2000s, and I used to live with my parents at that time.
Your parents are in Australia as well?
Just my dad.
Just your dad, yeah.
My mom and my dad separated. And my dad remarried here.
Oh right, yeah. So you did your high school maybe here? Or?
I didn't.
Yeah.
Because I at that time I couldn't speak English. I can, but I guess I wasn't confident enough to talk, to say something. But I can understand. It's just that I'm not confident to speak.
Yeah.
You know. Even to this day I still have that, you know, that I still get self-conscious about how I speak, about, you know, like thinking of the right and proper grammar to say, you know.
Yeah. I guess it could be quite difficult because Australians, when we speak English, it's very like, I don't know, it's hard to understand you know, and I guess because you're from the Philippines, you're probably more used to American English, right? And I guess our English is like, we don't really finish our sentences. We don't finish our words.
I was worried about being on the podcast just because I don't speak well enough. So.
Nah. I understand. I grew up in Southside Canberra, so it's like growing up in, I don't know, like a lot of burgers. I'm so comfortable, you know, so it's fine. You know, and it's also, we have to acknowledge the fact that what we see on TV of Australia, that's not really Australia. That's a heightened version of what Australia is. And I believe like shows like Last King of the Cross shows a little bit more what Australia is, because they show different accents and different, because if you're from, I don't know, Melbourne, for example, different accent altogether, and the way of speaking, you know. And if you're from Adelaide, same thing as well. I'm from Canberra, so you're in a New South Wales, you know, like it's the same sort of mentality, different mentality. Like Sydney has mentality, different way of speaking. Like even we go out west in Sydney, speak different to people up in North Shore or eastern suburbs. Socioeconomic, obviously, as well, you know.
And I think that's one of the film industry and TV shows lacked in Australia. Like they don't have a lot. I mean, they do have they do cast like people with different nationalities, but they sound like Australian. They don't sound like. You get what I'm trying to say? I just wish they would cast more people with accent. Because like it shows the real.
Because I guess they're asking them to use an Australian accent or something instead of their own. Which is not real.
It's not real at all. If you go to Central Station. It's all different accents, and somehow and they seem to use this, like it's almost like upper class English, Australian English, like only North Shore and eastern suburbs. They can like, it sounds like us, but no.
I just thought, you know, it would be great if they cast more people with accents.
I agree.
So that way, a lot of audiences can relate to that character. You know, something like that. Well, maybe it will change something in the industry. You know,
even general Americans hardly general American, is it? Like,
It's not. What is it?
it's not representing America as you know what I mean? Like, yeah, it's a really good point. Never thought of that.
Yeah. And even if you do if you do get a casting for a show and you go an audition and you have to do an American accent, you have to be generalized. You generalize. Oh, where's this person from? Is it from South, North, East, West?
Yeah.
Where is it, like what state? So you have to figure that out anyway.
Yeah.
So there's no such thing as JM, you know.
Yeah.
So yeah, I also struggle a lot with the whole accent thing because I don't. Yeah, well, I don't.
You don't have the accent.
No, but I do have a very boganish accent.
Oh, okay.
I don't have what you would see on TV.
Yeah.
Yeah, but then when I if I would get an audition, because I've done it now, it automatically changes.
Yeah.
And do you find that with you? It automatically changes?
Yeah, well, like when I went to acting school, they said you need to work on your voice. It's sort of like you speak lazily sort of thing. It's very bogan and stuff. And with the last King of the Cross audition that I did, the character was, just a rough character guy. It wasn't who I played in the show, but I auditioned for another character, and so I put on this voice that I thought that he might have, and when I got the job, I'm like, I better keep doing the voice. And then, so I get on there and I do the voice, and they're like, what's with this voice? And I'm like, oh, it's the same one as the audition. And then so I said, oh, you can drop that. And then it was funny, so I did drop it. And then later when we were doing ADR, they're like, can you do that voice again? And so they wanted the voice in the voiceover stuff, and I'm just like, it's just a bit.
Yeah, because I guess the TV show is from the novel, right? So it's from John Ibrahim's.
From his autobiography.
And he's got an accent too.
Yeah, he's Lebanese. I seen Chris Hemsworth's speech at the Actor Awards. He said he based his voice off Russell Crowe, and I'm like, they are very similar voices.
Them too?
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe.
Like when he said it, I'm like, oh yeah, he does.
I can't see when Russell Crowe does American films, or even Australian. I can't even picture him talking in an Australian accent or New Zealand accent, a Kiwi accent.
Yeah, Russ.
Yeah, I can't I
just remember Chris go, because Chris was talking about Russell and when he received his award, and he's like, and how good is his voice? And he goes, I based my voice off that. So I think it was a joke. But also,
are you guys talking about the tone, or are you talking about the accent?
Probably tone.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I just remember as he said it, like everyone just went, oh yeah, he does sound like Russell Crowe. But yeah, I found it funny. If I was having a conversation in the street and then doing a self-tape, it's like I go to this voice that I think the character has instead of my own.
Okay.
Perception's such a weird thing.
I've had that same sort of critique or feedback when I first started going to acting school. Like, your English is lazy, or your English is this, that, the other. I'm like, oh, great. Yeah. So now I gotta change the way I speak English, and then I also realized you're trying to make me speak the way everyone else speaks. I'm like, why should I speak like everyone else speaks?
Yeah.
And we had a person on the podcast, a friend of ours, and he said the most. I found it like, man, this is horrific. Like he has an accent. Like his background is Egyptian, I think, or Middle Eastern Egyptian, yeah, and he is also. I mean, he's in the queer community, and they told him he's got a gay accent, so they had to straighten his accent up. So he went to straighten his accent up, like Like,
Yeah.
That's a lot of work.
yeah, like that's just ridiculous, you know. And I just found that really interesting that we have to do that.
Yeah.
And as Australia, and I think because we're still focused on Australia being the same thing as they've been doing since the 90s, you know, like, and Australia is completely different. Like even in the 80s, we were completely different. They just didn't show it on screen.
Yeah.
You know, and now we're trying, but they're not trying. It's really odd.
Well,
like
it's great because now they're trying to embrace diversity and stuff like that, but not with the accent.
Yeah.
But just
Like, we'll cast the Filipino or Indian, but no. We want you to speak like this.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
okay.
Well, for me, I'm not so much concerned with the tone.
Yeah.
Like, I usually when I play a character, I play it as myself in that situation.
Yeah, of course.
You know,
Yeah.
I don't try to change my voice to like be that character. You know, it's still me, but in a different reality. That's how I do my acting.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I guess it's different with everyone. You know, but for me that's how it works, because it's easy for me to like express myself more and you know, like my emotions. You know, it connects with my emotions when I'm playing that character, but me. Like, I mean, I don't know how to say it.
I get that. Yeah.
Something like that.
Yeah.
What's on the future for you both? You think?
I've just directed my first short film. It's just been selected to play on the Central Coast at the Coastal Surge Film Festival.
Oh,
so
nice.
That was pretty cool.
That's great.
I've just booked a job for the ABC on a show that I can't talk about yet.
Great.
Playing a bikie again.
Great.
So
What's your signature role?
I'll see how well my film is received, and also I dare say maybe another bikie role. I'd love to maybe play something else, but yeah, if they're the roles I'm getting, I'll take them.
Yeah.
But yeah, hopefully, obviously continue to acting is my passion. So yeah, I don't think I'll become a full-time director, but hopefully more acting roles would be great.
Great. Yeah.
Well, me, my next one would be there's another film that's coming up from Samuel Drake. It's called what was that title again?
My memory's so bad.
How do you?
Because I wasn't the main cast, so I just
Yeah.
But I was one of the featured extra in that one. It's a sci-fi film. It's called Strange Nights.
Strange Nights. Okay.
It's coming up. I think it's still in what do you call it? Pre-production.
Pre-production.
Yeah. And there's another short film that I'm gonna be a part of. I don't want to say anything about it yet, because usually when I say something happens. You know, something goes wrong.
Yeah. Keep it to yourself. Don't
Always.
worry about it.
Yeah,
Keep it to
true.
yourself.
And I still do a lot of auditions for modeling. I still do lifestyle modeling on the side. So yeah. Like I said, I'm a kind of talent that I just go with the flow. I'm not really like chasing anything. You know, for me, I believe that whatever comes for me, it will come for me no matter what.
I'm all about just being prepared and taking opportunities when they come. Just
Yeah. But that's comes because you both come from different sort of things.
Course,
you know, you've got a family
yeah.
and you all that, and
Like
come overseas and
the moment the last episode of Last King of the Cross ended, I think within an hour I was already starting to put my show reel together.
wow.
Like, because I'm just like, I need this new footage out there, and did like another Gen M course, I'm like 44 and I'm going to stunt school. I'm probably like the most unfittest person there, you know what I mean? But I'm still there doing it. And
yeah, but those folks out in was it Peakhurst,
stunt action
consultants,
Ray Anthony, they're like, I'm watching all them and they're all fit and they're all like, you know, doing backflips and all this stuff, and I'm trying to get amongst it, and I don't know.
I did a bit of that. I did a bit of stunt too, but I didn't want to like pursue it because I didn't want to break anything.
Yeah.
I do modeling, so I don't want to.
Exactly.
But you know those guys, they're so professional, man. Like they do like safety is first. Like they're very good at like teaching all that. But
True.
2 weeks ago I was on fire. Like it was great. I loved it.
Oh wow,
it was awesome.
Yeah, I've been seeing on Instagram. They're like, what is that shiny stuff?
So we went in
It's
there.
like a gel or something.
Yeah, you they have wetsuits sitting in ice, and you put so it's really cold to start with, and you put a wetsuit on, and they have two. Then after that, there's 2 cotton outfits. I'm not sure exactly what they're called that go on over the top, and then you have to get clothes that are 2 sizes up. Put them on, and then you get completely covered in fire retardant gel, and then it's the real deal. Like I've always watched like in the circus, and then I'm like, that must be some sort of fake fire.
Yeah.
I don't know how naive that sounds, but I'm like, surely that's not fire, but it's fire.
It's fire, yeah.
And so they cover you in gel and then set you on fire, and you've got. They said everyone's different. Like some people's threshold, because what they say is when you start to feel the burn, drop to your knees, and then we'll put you out. And some people last 5 seconds. Some people don't feel it for up to a minute. So you're like, okay, I've potentially only got 5 seconds to, like, you know, do what I need to do for my fire reel, like whatever movements or choreography and stuff like that. And so you just go for it, and then as soon as you start to feel the burn, like obviously not intense, but it's just like a tiny bit of burn, you drop to your knees, and then they put you out. So
hold on, so the fire can potentially go through all that? Is it just like you're saying it heats up?
You start feeling hot.
Yeah.
You certainly don't get burnt, but when you get hot, that's when you drop to your knees, because after that potentially you can get burnt.
It will go through that, wouldn't it?
I never really got to that level. I only got to the combat, like fighting for screen or whatever. Screen and I only done it not because I want to be a stunt performer. I just wanted to experience it. So that way, if there's a role coming up and they require an actress or an actor to do their own stunt, then I guess I could audition for that.
Yeah, I did it because on King of the Cross, I was in lots of fight scenes, and I had to have weapons and all sorts of things. And I thought if I'm going to put that on my show reel, they might expect me to actually be able to do those things. Which I did have experience on the set, but I just thought if I, go to stunt school also, it can only help. So.
Yeah, I just didn't want to get to that level where you break bones.
Oh yeah.
Because I do modeling. I don't want to.
Yeah. Well, they said to me, if you're going to do this, you're going to get hurt. I'm like, okay.
Well, I started going to the fighting stuff. I went there, and I sort of come from like a martial arts background, and then it's like, because what you do realistically in a fight, like on the street or in a comp or whatever, it's different to like set. Like you got to sell the fight. Sell the fight.
Yeah.
And it's different.
Bigger.
Yeah, everything's got to be bigger, and you're showing everything. Yeah. Well, other stuff you can't show anything. Like trying to. So, and I was watching all the folks out there in the school doing it. I'm like, man, maybe this is not for me, because you got to change your mentality, change your mindset. Maybe I wasn't ready for it, and I'm like, well, if I ever get like a role that requires stunt, I'm sure these stunt people will rock up and do that.
Yeah.
And I'll try to do the best I can to do as much as myself.
Yeah.
But these stunt folks are just like incredible. Like things amazing. They could do. Like I'm at an age where maybe I can't do those things at the moment. Those things, so they'll come in and probably do it.
Yeah.
On last King of the Cross set, the fight team, the stunt coordinator, and that came to me and said, "Do you want to watch the show and say that's me, or do you want to say that's a stunt guy? Like that's your opportunity." And it blew my mind that there's other actors out there like because they told me that other actors are like, "Oh no, I'm not doing stunts. That's not my job. I'm an actor." Rah, rah, rah. And I'm like, they're like, "Do you want to do that, or do you want to be prepped? Like look there and go, look what I've done." I'm like, "Yeah, okay, I'll give it a go."
I would definitely give it a go. Like I would definitely would like to. And I'm sure the stunt team will show you how to do it. Yeah.
So they usually done a take with me, and then they'll do a take with a stunt man, and then basically end up using all the stuntman footage.
How do you want to do it? Stunt?
It's just to fatten up the resume, I guess. I think it all helps, like accents and stunt and just for experience.
The sword fighting as well.
Yeah, they
weapon stuff.
Every week they do a different theme.
Yeah.
So
Well, thank you so much for taking time of your week, your day to come, and you drove all the way from Newcastle, and you're already here. So thanks so much.
And thanks for having us, mate.
Thank you for having us.
Excellent.
Yeah, and I wish you guys success for whatever you guys do, and I'm sure we'll meet on set. I'm sure we'll do something together.
Yeah.
We have the same ages.
I'll be working with you.
We went from a German hot dog commercial.
Yeah.
5 years ago we met on set, and then to King of the Cross. So you never know.
How cool is that?
Yeah.
Like I just love.
We got paid.
It's great.
We got paid $100. I got paid $100 for that commercial. That was back in the day when I was like working for free and stuff like that. And I rang Wayne and said, "Oh, I'm doing." He's like, "What are you doing? This $100 commercial, man?" And so our story's been great. Yeah.
And the next was the last King of the Cross.
Yeah.
But we were never really in the same scene.
Yeah.
But we were in the same scene.
Yeah.
I mean,
we crossed paths a fair bit. Yeah.
Because whenever he's doing his scene, I'm at the back getting my hair and makeup done.
And yeah.
Yeah, great.
I think we shared a trailer once or something.
Yeah.
It's fun. Well, that's great. Thank you so much for coming past.
Thanks, mate.
Yeah, thanks so much,
you.
guys. Yeah. Thanks so much for everyone listening in, and try to get to and watch Last King of the Cross. See these folks do their thing, and keep supporting. You guys have our Instagram, whatnot. So I'll put this on Instagram as well, and hopefully people follow you and see your journeys, see our journeys. Yeah.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah. Thanks, guys. Thanks so much.